school and give them a health facility and put a police station there.
Precious John, AKBC News.
Governor Omar Eno has condoled with the family of the late Miss Abigail Frederick, a graduate of theatre arts from the University of Uyo, who died alongside others in the course of pursuing her career. Governor Omar Eno said this while paying a condolence visit to the family of Abigail at Ikorodoma in Eked local government area. The governor, who described as sad the circumstances that led to the untimely demise of some crew members of the movie The Other Side of Life, including Junior Pope, prayed that their souls find rest in God. Governor Eno said government will always identify with the people of the state in joy and sorrow, advising Abigail's family to be consoled, knowing that one day they will meet their daughter. The governor announced an automatic employment in the state civil service to the sister of the deceased, renovation of family's building, and training of siblings. The Akwa Ibom state government also promised to bring home the corpse of its daughter, the Nollywood makeup artist who died in a boat accident alongside others, Miss Abigail Edith Frederick, for proper burial. Miss Abigail Frederick and others were working on the production of the Nigerian movie The Other Side of Life before the unfortunate boat accident that claimed their lives. Women have been tasked to exhibit Christ-like nature in salvaging the needs in their communities and inculcating godly potentials into their children. Wife of Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Patience Eno, gave the charge at the Lutheran Church of Nigeria National Headquarters, Oboridomi Besikbu, during the 2024 National Women Fellowship Rally. Margaret Bassey reports that the event had the theme, Christ for You, Rise Up and Build.
Pastor Patience Eno, represented by the Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Idris Retebed, encouraged the women to continue to be pillars of support in their homes, church, and society at large by setting straight the foundation that will help their children to be useful citizens. She enumerated that serving God effectively brings about salvation from sin and new life, revealing the very essence of the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The governor's wife assured the congregation that the administration of Governor Moino will continue to do good on its task of delivering dividends of good governance to Akwa Ibom people.
It is gratifying to know that women, the women of the Lutheran Church of Nigeria, annually gather to celebrate our Lord Jesus Christ. As mothers in your respective homes, I implore you to continue to inculcate in your children godly values that will enable them to live as responsible citizens so that they will be useful to themselves, their families, and the society at large.
The chairman on the occasion and head of civil service, Elder Effiong Essien, represented by his wife, Deaconess Udrak Essien, said women being home builders have engaged in more holistic approaches and strategies in nation building, thereby keying into the vision of founding the Lutheran University through facilitating the building of a 3-story female hostel for the university, calling for support and encouragement.
We all know that women are builders. Yes, we have been doing it over the years. But God has passed through this National Women this year to energize us, to remind us that as Nehemiah did, we should do it again. Then we, the women, thought, what can we do for the church? And that's why the women agreed that we build University Female Hostel.
Earlier in a sermon, the national president and Archbishop of Lutheran Church of Nigeria, the Most Reverend Christian Ekong, noted that as women on mission, they require power and authority to function and remain effective in their area of calling. The Most Reverend Ekong reiterated that one embarking on a mission without an appropriate instruction is bound to fail, noting that the church has reason to build in line with the state government mantra, which urges all to arise.
As Christian women on the mission, you require, because you deserve, you require power, not just mere power, but power from on high.
The event featured praises, thanksgiving, and the presentation of gifts to the governor's wife and the governor. Margaret Bassi, AKBC News.
One thing nature has blessed Akwa Ibom with is rich local delicacies, including food and meat. And one of such is the African dwarf goat known as Okubusemebut. This special breed of goat, especially the male, can be traced from a very long distance when cooked because of its special aroma. What makes Okubusemebut special? Eyarenopho reports.
Of recent, there has been a cry by people from this part about local delicious Okubusemebut, West African dwarf goat, going into extinction. Good news is that efforts are in top gear to reproduce the goat in large number for private, public and commercial consumption. This effort is launched by goat rearers in the state who are doing everything to increase the production of local goat to ensure goat consumers buy tasty and delicious goat that satisfy the taste buds of consumers. It is no news that our local goats are taken to bushes to feed on grass where they are domesticated. But what is unknown to many is the art of rearing these goats at commercial level. Here is African dwarf goat rearer in a Falafium, in the local government area.
David and it's in Gamba, listen and Mickey now. Yes, we are going to tell you, it's a you don't get it, sure. It's in the way I know. I said, I do, wasn't more. I don't know, yeah. I'm not like I'm going, I haven't been with you now. I feel like I'm more. I said more. I want to tell you, you do I am more.
A veterinary doctor in the Ministry of Agriculture, Burubud, says many steps are involved in rearing a local goat.
If you are interested in goat business, it's a very lucrative business. Number one is how you acquire your stock. That is the animal you want to start the business with. You don't need to go to the market and just buy animal randomly, because most of these animals taken to the market, they are ill or have some defection or the other. So the best way to source for your stock is to go to the farm where they are rearing the animal. The next thing is the way you house it, the housing for the goats, properly ventilated. And we also provide a platform where the goats climb and sleep. Another thing you need to do is to make sure you clean the house every day. That's why even our forefathers say, so you need to deworm them at least nearly every 2 to 3 months. The longest you can go is 3 months. Yeah, what I started with, I call it kata. You need to vaccinate this goat every year. It's a yearly vaccination. So once you do this, you are rest assured you can raise up to 100 goats without problem. If you don't vaccinate them, you can go for 40, 50. Before you know, you are back to 5.
Shedding more light in breeding a West African dwarf goat, Okubusemebut, the Director of Animal Husbandry, Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Niefio Isong, spoke on the do's and don'ts rearers should observe.
We need to give their goats enough quantity of forage. Goat keeping is passion. You need to have that interest. You need for that. Well, once in a while, you may need to supplement their nutrients, providing them with mineral supplements, such things that we call salt lick. Those animals that have the ability to stand, that have good mothering ability, you have to select them when giving them their feed. First of all, the animal, the fish should not be wet. As if you cut the forage today, you keep it to wilt, at least some quantity of moisture that is there, okay, should be lost before you present it. So it's always good that the vet man, okay, is invited to give that veterinary attention.
How do people see this species of guilt in this part?
As we can notice. About the reason, not going to flattery. I think the bank was at Sana, especially your poor. I don't tell you to do a job about a cushion. I want to come down I don't know what that is. I was a man who is able to manage. A baby in the legs of the science of this soon. I wish I had done for. I've never had a dialogue or going for that baby. Then I very well I will not go with himself. Even if I rush. I did it. The boy is in the boy. I many a book. Every time the little that you put, it accepts and it's very sweet. And if good boy, I make a fear for it. I go very some them. In fact, I go for the man, something for the better what film. I never need to know the if I did I matter, as I go and did them. I mean, I got very time, baby. I got an idea of everything. I am not going to get gender to be here. I will be a having to separate by a very canyon. Very opportunity, even again, a very canyon because a very canyon, what another canyon is saying.
West African dwarf goat has a delicious taste and aroma, especially the male, referred to as a baby.
It is the expectation of my respondent that the West African dwarf goat, known in this part as a Kobusemebo, should be reproduced in large quantity to avoid extinction of the goat. From a farming farm in Afarafra, Iyawina Paul, AKBC News.
Still to come, wife of SSG inducted into Akwa Ibom State Norwich Hall of Fame. Reporter takes a look at the benefits of edible mushrooms and side effects of mushrooms that are non-edible. Do stay for more. Easter celebration may have come and gone, but the lessons and memories still linger. Governor Umar Eno, in the spirit of Easter celebration, organized a program tagged Easter Hymns, which coincided with the Government House monthly Covenant service, which takes place every first day of the month. In the following report, our Government House reporter Patience John reports that different government classes featured at the event with dedicated Easter hymns.
Members of the State Executive Council, members of the National Assembly, state legislators and College of Permanent Secretaries sang. crowning him with many crowns from the judiciary when I survey from honorary special advisors to the governor and Calvary from College of Media Aids also spiced the Easter cantata. Government House Choir and invited singers, including the Promised Land Chorale and the All Nations International Ministries, joined in the celebration. One appreciated those who attended the event, advised them to allow lessons of love, humanity, and humility that the period symbolizes to reflect in their lives. Patience John, AKBC News.
Are you a lover of mushrooms? Do you like it cooked, roasted, or grilled? Then this report is for you. Mushrooms are a favorite of many. They come in shapes, sizes, and varieties, but there is need to identify the edible ones to avoid the side effects of mushrooms that are non-edible or harmful when consumed. Paul takes a look at edible and non-edible mushrooms, as well as benefits of consuming mushrooms in the following report.
Mushroom is a conspicuous umbrella-shaped fruiting body of certain fungi, typically of the order of Agaricales in the phylum Basidiomycota, but also of some other groups. Mushroom has existed for ages before now in Achaemenides. In the days, mushroom used to come out of the ground with sizes and colors, and people who see it first were rewarded whenever they shout, "Mebumoda." It was also found on the trees, especially dead woods.
ikaitanga taking lang na kayang nakayang bunga ya so kana mo so kabuo na ibo land. I used to see it here. We used to go to bush and discover where the thing.
I cannot forget it at all. I can remember holidays like we be itching to go to the village so we can pick mushrooms. Those as we used to call them Mpifia and Nyenye. Then you have the one they call Tinapa. Tinapa is always picked from the tree. There's one they call Mpepper. That one is dark and the ears are so big. The experience was that when we carry a basket into the bush, we will now do it as a sort of competition. Whose basket will be filled first, and that person will get a prize from our parents.
I, like most people, recall with nostalgia my childhood days. Udup, as mushroom is called here, used to be attributed to good luck and favor from the gods, and it sometimes grew wild in thick forest. I also remember the joy children had when asked to go search for Udup. What made mushroom important then, and what were they used for? Why is Udup not commonly found these days?
Tao mà thì làm tụi mình nghĩ đây chỉ là cái việc một cái cái mà chúng mình gặp cái đó cái nó sẽ lấy cái gì mà mình vì riêng anh nói xem mà để cái mình mà thì cái này riêng hay là nên riêng nó mang nhiều kiểu cái này thì mình sử dụng nên cái chọn mà cái chọn mình đặt so phải phân bón mình riêng là phân mình bón rồi mà chỉ cho xịt tôi sẽ chọn mà cái này con đi yang càng nhân nhiều mà mua cái đấy nhiều mà lúc đấy ai tại macaroni anh là shawarma Indomie that is very scary. Like that you can't see it anyhow. Yes, you can't see it anyhow. Generation so udah dia pergi di bawah.
The near extinction of mushroom globally is the reason people venture into mushroom farming, since this natural food is very rich in proteins, vitamins and other minerals. Study reveals that there are edible and non-edible mushroom. So, to identify edible mushrooms, look out for mushrooms without white gills. Look for mushrooms with gills that are brown or tan. Seek out for mushrooms without a ring around the stem. Check beneath the cap of the mushroom for a second bell-like ring of issues that looks a bit like a mini cap beneath the cap, because many mushrooms with this feature are poisonous. Poisonous mushrooms represent less than 1% of the world's known mushrooms, hence constitute the danger and sometimes fatal species. For this reason, mushrooms may be identified by a competent mycological authority before consumption, according to a nutritionist.
Consuming mushroom as one of the vegetables which we call the vegan's meat is as good as consuming meat or fish or chicken. Mushroom contains all the essential vitamins ranging from vitamin A, vitamin C. They contain phytochemicals, phytonutrients, and antioxidants that fight against free radicals. The wild ones are there, so it's not all mushrooms that are edible in them. The edible mushrooms are they are in the like of the intopper I talked about, the Nyenye, the Mpifia, the Tinaba, and the rest of them. Then the non-edible ones are very big equally. They are wild good, because the moment you pick it, it's like you eating raw cassava or raw soybeans. So the cyanide content, the toxicity is so high that it can make you become ill, and if it's knocking, one can die in the process. So that's why not all mushrooms are edible, but the edible ones are very useful enough for all.
Types of mushrooms include button, cap and flat mushrooms, Swiss brown, oyster, king oyster, and Caesar blusher mushrooms. Some side effects of taking mushrooms are tiredness, stomach upset, nausea, skin allergies, and headaches. That notwithstanding, mushrooms are known to make the immune system strong. How can mushroom be cultivated? God created everything for the good of man, but man must know what to consume. The same applies to wild and poisonous mushrooms. So, enjoy your mushrooms. That is, if you can come across some.
It doesn't taste right for me. I don't like it, but like my mushroom, the soya tastes better than mushroom. So we have to preserve our bush, not all that we should tamper with.
AKBC News.
Wife of the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Inemeset Uwa, has been inducted into the Hall of Fame by the National Association of Women Journalists, Akwa Ibom State Council. Judith Richard reports that the honor was bestowed on her during the April edition of the association's Congress held at the Press Center, Uyo.
In her remark, the chairman of the association, Comrade Usika Okon, said her tireless efforts in championing the welfare of women and children and her advocacy for social change for them in the society contributed to her induction into the Hall of Fame of the association.
We are looking for money to at least put a change on that so that we can even say that is our office. Almost everything in that office is what your husband through you did to marriage to furnish the office. Thank you very much. And couple the fact that you have done other things for women in the state, even the children, the vulnerable. We want to say much thank you. Continue to do that. You may have think that maybe people are not recognizing, they are not noticing what you are doing. It's not all about making noise. There are times that people achieve record progress without making noise, and I like your stand. I say may God continue to bless you.
Responding, the inductee, Dr. Inemeset Uwa, appreciated Marriage for the honor done her, while promising to do more of what will add value to women. Dr. Uwa urged the women, journalists, and all women to strive to add value to themselves. Dr. Inemeset Uwa asked for support to Governor Moina's administration and also promised her unalloyed support to the women journalists in the state.
I'm so grateful. I don't know what I've done to deserve it. I love behind camera so much because I have a lot of women to know. And I'm grateful to God that your heart have seen it, not your eyes. Decided to honor me to you. I want to say thank you. The beauty of everything is when a gift is given, it is well utilized. So I want to say thank you, great Norwegians, and I look forward to contributing in any way I can, because if there's anything I love to see women grow from state one to state two. Continue to add value to yourself.
The immediate past chairman of Marriage, Comrade Ubraikong, in her goodwill message, thanked the SSG's wife for honoring Marriage with her presence and supporting the association. She prayed for God's guidance and leadership to her and husband, Prince Enabong Uwa.
I follow her closely. I see the things she's doing for women, even in Uyo Senatorial District. Even people that are not even from Uyo Senatorial District. She doesn't discriminate, and I know that the future is bright. I'm telling her that wherever she's going to, that we in Abuja, we will tell her stories positively because we believe that she's one girl child that has shown the world that to invest in a girl child is investing in a whole multitude of people.
Juliet Richard, AKBC News.
Another Akwa Ibom son, a graduate of electrical and electronic engineering from Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic Ikorosura, Uduak Nanga, will soon embark on the Guinness World Records Mathathon, the longest mathematics lesson of 150 hours. Mr. Nanga disclosed this to newsmen recently during a media party held at King's Kids Christian International Schools, Uyo. He said the marathon will commence on April 20, 2024, according to Uduak Okwosen.
Briefing the press, Mr. Nanka said mathematics provides mental strength and encourages logical reasonings, and cut across all facets of life endeavors, like the areas of data analysis, time and organizational management, communication, as well as critical decision making. The reason is embarking on the exercise. Mr. Nanka noted that his passion and zeal has prompted him to take the decision of attempting to break the Guinness World Record on longest mathematics lessons, gearing towards making mathematics easier for students as a subject. He stressed that the marathon is his way of teaching mathematical lessons to groups of students for 150 hours in order to tell the world that mathematics is fun. Mr. Nanka called on government, private sectors, and individuals to support him financially for a successful exercise. The Chief Executive Officer of King's Kids Christian International School, Professor Elton Isaac Udoisian, and wife, Dr. Cecilia Udoisian, appreciated the courage Mr. Uduak Nanka has in attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the marathon lesson in mathematics, and promised to add their quota to the success of the event. In a remark, the principal of Emmanuel New Life International Schools encouraged Ikodipe, Mr. Michael Stephen Uko, encouraged everyone to involved in the exercise.
150 hours of teaching is 7 days, non-stop. So I want to use this medium to invite and want to encourage and advise you which are themselves. So let all our parents and without mistake, wherever you are hearing from us, come on and support without moving.
Mr. Nanka can be contacted through 0703 740 3783 and 0701 04 83146. AKBC News.
Just before we go, let's take a second look at the top stories. Condoled with the family of the late Miss Abigail Frederick, who died alongside others in the course to the family of Abigail Erikorodoma in Eket local government area. The governor, who described as sad the circumstances that led to the untimely demise of some crew members of the movie The Other Side of Life, including Junior Pope, prayed that their souls find rest in God. Women have been tasked to inculcate godly potentials into their children. We also told you that mushrooms are a favorite of many. They come in shapes, sizes and varieties, but there is a need to identify the edible ones to avoid side effects of those that are non-edible or harmful when consumed. That's the package for this afternoon. Many thanks for watching and to have a rewarding day.